Have you ever wished you can just get inside the head of a truly great leader, find out what they were really thinking? Well, today, that's kind of what we're going to do. We're stepping inside the personal library of Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, and we're going to find the very books that literally contain the blueprint for modern Turkey.
So let's start with this massive question, because for Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, the answer wasn't just forged on the battlefield. A huge part of it was discovered, page by page, in the thousands of books that lined his personal library.
And this, right here, this is our way in. To understand the mind that built a country, we're going deeper than just official records. We're looking at the marks he physically left on the page, the underlines, the little notes in the margins. This right here is the most intimate map of his thinking we could ever hope to find.
Okay, so here's our game plan for exploring his collection. Think of it like a library with different wings. We'll start with the idea of a leader's library. Then we'll check out the lessons from ancient empires. After that, we'll see how he used those ideas for forging a modern identity, then how he was mapping a new world, and finally, we'll see how the reader became the ruler.
First things first, you gotta understand that for Atatürk, reading wasn't just a hobby. It wasn't about kicking back with a good book, it was a strategic act. His library wasn't just a collection. It was more like a laboratory where the ideas for a new Turkey were being tested, refined, and ultimately chosen.
So, let's step into the first wing of this library. What you see right away is that to build a future, Atatürk looked way into the past. He was digging through ancient civilizations for lessons in what to do, and maybe more importantly, what not to do.
And the sheer breadth of his historical reading is, well, it's just staggering. He didn't just stick to Turkish or Ottoman history. Nope. His shelves were packed with detailed analyses of ancient India, early Balkan cultures, you name it. He was thinking globally from day one. He was hunting for universal principles of what makes a government work. So in this book on India's Mauryan Empire, he underlines a single powerful phrase: the accessibility of the sovereign. Think about that. It tells you exactly what was on his mind. A leader who stays connected to the people, no matter how big the nation gets.
But his interest went way beyond just politics. He was studying the cultural glue that holds a society together. So when he's underlining detailed descriptions of Buddhist stupas, he's not just learning about architecture. He's analyzing how powerful shared symbols can unite a people. You see, he's reading like a cultural detective. He's marking passages about how traditions are born, how ideas travel across continents and through time. I mean, if you're trying to forge a whole new national identity, this is absolutely essential research.
Okay, so let's see how he brought all this global perspective back home. Now we're moving from ancient empires to a much more immediate challenge. How do you actually define a modern Turkish identity for the 20th century? His search for that national essence is just captured perfectly in moments like this. When he finds a description that clicks, he claims it. That decisive X in the margin. I mean, this isn't passive reading. This is an active identification. He's saying, yes, this is us.
So this is the line he marked. And the real key is in those last two words, practical positivism. For him, this was like the new operating system for a Turkish identity. Not mysticism, not nostalgia, but a rational, scientific, forward-looking mindset.
He wasn't just reading history books, you see. He was getting deep into the core philosophies that were shaping the modern world. Why? Because he was absolutely determined to build his new republic on a solid foundation of reason and science.
And this part is just fascinating. It shows his intense focus on language. He knew that a nation's soul is basically encoded in its words, so he meticulously studied etymology, tracing the roots of everyday words for village or brick, because he understood that language itself was a cornerstone of the entire nation he was building. All right, so from history and identity, we're now moving to the wing of his library that's all about geopolitics. A new nation can't exist in a vacuum, right? Atatürk had to understand Turkey's place in a really fast-changing world.
His library proves he was a global strategist. These weren't just maps he was looking at. He was studying the economic, political, and physical landscapes of entire continents. He was always thinking far beyond Turkey's own borders.
He also learned from his contemporaries. Right here, he's reading a speech by King Amanullah Khan of Afghanistan, another modernizing leader who was trying to navigate that same dangerous path to independence. He was studying a peer's struggles and dreams in real time.
Now look at what he's underlining here. This is incredible. He's marking predictions about the decline of European supremacy and the rise of Asia. He was decades ahead of his time, anticipating these massive geopolitical shifts of the 20th century and figuring out how to position Turkey to navigate them.
Okay, so let's bring it all together. How do all these ideas from thousands of pages actually translate into the policies that build a nation? How do you get from the library to the real world? Well, the connection is unbelievably direct. That idea of an accessible sovereign from ancient India, you can see its echo in the principles of a modern republic. That practical positivism, it becomes the philosophical basis for secularism and a huge focus on scientific education. His deep dive into language, that directly fueled the monumental Turkish language reform. And his geopolitical reading, it informed a foreign policy of peace and neutrality. It's all connected. So the portrait that emerges from these books is of a totally different kind of leader. Yeah, Ataturk was a general, but he was also a scholar. His authority, his real power didn't just come from the battlefield, it came from the library. He knew that to build something that lasts, you don't just need an army, you need an architect with a solid blueprint of ideas.
And this all reveals a really powerful truth, I think. The books we choose, the ideas we really engage with, they don't just entertain us. They build us. They shape our entire vision of the world. Which, leaves us with one final thought. If your bookshelf tells your story, what would it say?